Welcome, everyone, to Night City Stargazers, episode 13. Where we had left off, our band of edge runners had met a new Ripperdoc, one based out of Japantown, who goes by the moniker Requiem. Apparently, is a friend of Orvin's, perhaps a longtime friend, and Orvin sent Requiem via note to Slideye's apartment, where he was quickly introduced to the rest of the gang. Not sure if they could necessarily trust the guy at first. They started digging around to see who this guy might be. Trix digging around the net, and with asking around with Jason and with Nathan as to their opinions, or if they've heard rumors regarding this man, and came up with a couple of things, but nothing to really say about the man's true identity. Or history, for that matter. With a cache of drugs and some weapons and a couple of other things that may be of some value from their raid on the box truck that was run in the city by the Valentinos, there's some thought as to what they could earn as far as cash for any of this, as cash is quickly becoming an issue as monthly rent is due at the end of the month. So rent and food and whatever else may be of other expenses that the team needs to gather, well, it might be time to search for another gig, if one doesn't already drop into their lap. And so, starting with a new day, we begin with Trix. After finding what little information you were able to do on the surface net regarding the information that Requiem had already given you, and a little bit of sleuthing yourself, what do you intend to do next?
Well, there's very little of him she could actually dig up from where she was at. So, she's gonna go out to the clinic, try and hack into his system. See if she can dig up a little bit more on him. Maybe some of the donors. Because that's one thing she found. He's got donations coming in from somewhere.
Indeed. And since that's personal information encrypted on a database where that sort of thing is meant to be kept private, it only makes sense to hack into it and see what you can dig up.
Be easier being there at the clinic than trying to do it from a chair. Less time consuming, too.
You make your way towards Japantown. One of the wonderful sort of districts of this lovely night city. Lots of neon lights, even during the daytime, towering buildings, and entertainment of all kinds can be found in this district. All of which are run primarily by corporations And if not, it's by the tiger claws. Most of which have their signature cyberware in brightly colored, some of which are very noticeable and others of which are a little bit more subtle. But neon-colored faceplates, arm plates, leg plates, that's very common in this district. And so, making your way through the streets, not too far from where you know Slideye's apartment is, where she and Orvin had rented an apartment in one of the taller buildings of Jig Jig Street. You make your way toward a storefront. A rather standard storefront that just says Ripperdoc across the top. As far as access nodes are concerned, there's not really any alleyways that separate this storefront from the others that are in this building. It has the front door. You assume there's a back door for shipping and receiving, possibly. Dumpsters maybe in the back, maybe a block away.
I'm gonna go around to the back.
Okay.
That way she's not directly out front trying to do this.
Okay. There is indeed a back entrance. Looks like a regular sort of fire exit door.
Do I have a camera back here?
High or low?
We'll go high.
There is indeed. Pointed at the street in this alleyway. It's not pointed at the back of the at the back of these storefronts. Because there's a number of storefronts on the street. But nothing is saying that you can't angle it back there. If you were able to hack into it, of course.
She's gonna hack into it.
Okay.
So she can either move it or shut it off.
Alright.
She doesn't want to get caught just yet.
Doesn't want to get caught just yet. So, let's just make that a regular old interface roll.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is a pass, so you're able to hack into the camera itself. This particular camera is connected to the city's traffic CCTV. That's what you discover about this one.
She's just going to move it, so she's not going to be seen on it. I'm going to shut it off, and then back out of it.
Okay. So the first thing that you'll notice is that there is a bit of ice that you do have to deal with. And that black ice is anti-personnel, so you are going to have to perform a net action to either dodge it and get to the next floor, or to destroy it first.
Gonna try and dodge it.
Okay, so you're gonna do a slide?
Yep.
Alright, so roll an interface for slide.
7.
Which I believe is versus its perception. So, sadly, it is going to detect you. You cannot slide past it.
Damn. Oh well.
So, net action number 2.
Going to res up sword and take a swing at it.
Okay, so that's going to count as 2 net actions because you have to res up sword and then swing. Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
Alright, so roll an attack roll for that.
8.
That's versus its defense roll, I think.
Yep, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Which is going to crit fail.
Is that black ice or non-black ice?
It's considered black ice.
Okay, so it's going to be 3d6. Let me... My camera is hiding the options.
Okay. It's not enough to destroy it, so it gets to take a turn.
Yep.
Which means it does want to make an attack swing at you. Which is going to be a 6 total.
Okay. And...
I believe you roll some kind of defense. Well, you don't have shield up, because you haven't rezzed that yet.
Nope, I don't. I do not.
So, I believe that is a defense roll of some kind, right?
I would assume so.
Like an interface for defense or something, but I don't think, because you can't just mitigate it because shield's not up.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Let's roll to see what happens.
Find out.
This is what I need open. Net combat.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not seeing anything on if it attacks me.
On each of its turns, it'll attack the Netrunner or one of their active programs at random if it is anti-program black ice. Once, rolling attack plus D10 versus Netrunner's interface plus D10 or program's defense plus D10 if it's an anti-program.
So it's just a normal interface roll then?
Normal interface roll to defend.
7.
Okay. Which was... And mine was... Hang on.
I think you said it was a 6.
Yes, it was a 6. So it does not land an attack on you. Which does complete its turn, because it's meant to just attack you.
Yep. Gonna take another swing at it then.
Okay, another swing at sword. It's defense roll. Ooh. And it crit on defense. So, and you crit failed on attack, so...
Yeah.
Well, that's one of your net actions.
Yep. Let's take another swing.
Okay.
6 that time.
And it defends with 11. Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. It's gotta be. I'm gonna pour 2 luck points into those 2.
Okay. Ouch.
Well.
Since they're both 1s, well, mine's a -2, +2, so 0. And yours is a -1 plus your 2, which is +1.
Yep.
So you win.
I win. I just don't do anything to it.
Well, yeah. Well, you still win even on a crit fail.
Yeah.
Because it crit failed and lost.
Fair. So you want me to go ahead and roll the damage then?
Yeah. And that will wipe out the Wisp. That is your 3 net actions for this turn.
Well,
there's nothing in your way at the moment, so you can spend your next turn doing something else, doing the next thing, like moving on.
Yep. She's going to be moving on.
Okay.
She needs to get that camera moved.
So to get to the control node, it's an interface roll. And that will not pass because you have to beat 6.
Yep.
But you know that the more times you try, the more times you might get detected by NCPD.
Yeah. I think in this case, she's just going to go ahead and back out.
So you're just going to jack out, not turn off the camera?
Yep.
Okay.
Jack out and then just try to stealth by and not be seen.
Okay. So we're just going to go off of regular old stealth rolls. So go ahead and roll in meat space your stealth check.
I've got to find it because I don't know this sheet yet. I think it's body, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a nice number.
I can roll normally for these. It's the interface where I start to fail.
And you're the net runner, silly.
Uh-huh.
All right. You're fairly certain that you can remain undetected so long as you keep your eyes on where this camera is being pointed.
Yep.
You do not.
Now I'm assuming. I'm assuming there's a dumpster out back behind this clinic.
Yeah, it's for trash for basically this whole building. It's not really a very tall building, to be fair. It's maybe a couple of floors above the street level. But there are piles and piles of trash back here. It smells like garbage. It smells like a bunch of...
Yep.
It smells like the waste management companies of Night City haven't been back here in a while.
Oh, I'm going to describe after this, but she is going to hide out near the dumpster a little bit if it's close to the building.
Okay. Yep, it's kind of like right up against the wall.
And then start hacking into Requiem systems.
Okay. So there's not a control node out here for you to directly plug into.
Yep. I can actually do it from a distance, if I remember correctly.
You can start a hack from a distance, but you do have to know where you can hack from to get it in the system. So it'd be kind of like a... I know that there's a net action that's kind of like a ping where you can try and detect the closest control, like the closest node to jack into.
Yeah. So we can just use a normal interface roll then.
Yeah, because I think that's a difficulty 6 or 10. I can't remember. Let me look real fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up too.
Because it is a... It's a scanner. Use a meat action to find a meat space location for access points to a net architecture in the area. The higher the check, the more you spot from further away. Okay, so it's a degrees of success.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the higher the number, the easier it'll be to spot. So go ahead and roll for scanner. Ooh,
There we go.
That's a crit. That's a critical success. That's a nice number. That's a 17.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of ping out, trying to detect what architectures are around you just by sending out like tiny little bits of code. Nothing that's going to be of any kind of malicious things. It's just where can I access the net in any of these buildings? So you detect the architectures of several of the companies that do have storefronts here on this street. One of which being your target, the Ripperdoc Clinic that you're sitting in the alley directly behind of. So you know that the access point physically is a monitor that you kind of get the idea is in a back room, which is kind of close to the wall you are on.
Okay. Gonna give it a shot.
To jack in, you don't need line of sight with the edge runner rules, do you? Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. If I can figure out where it's at in here.
Yeah.
I think I have the... yep, I've got the wrong book open. Net stuff. Net actions. Okay, connect to the new report of a target within 50 meters. Was visible to them.
Yeah, I know that's the case with a net runner you can see. I'm gonna say you know where the monitor is, and that you do either have to have direct contact or line of sight.
Okay.
Just to make it a simple ruling for now.
Okay, that works. Going to sneak in the back door then.
Okay. So this is a fire escape door. Typically, fire escape doors do have alarms built into them. So, to successfully get past the lock on this, it'll be a lockpick check, so that you don't trip the alarm.
Yep, there it is.
Ooh.
Really?
That's a
really
critical failure. Requiem.
Yes.
The fire escape alarm goes off in the back of your clinic. You're here alone currently.
I am going to approach the fire escape holding a friend of mine and see who is trying to break into my clinic.
Since the alarm's already tripped, you open the fire escape door. And Trix, you are in plain sight, so your stealth does not work here.
Yep. Probably one of those things where it goes off, she tries to get away, and door just slams open.
You are looking down the business end of a shotgun.
Hi.
Huh. Not what I was expecting. Is this a social
well,
call, or do you need me to look under the hood?
call it more social than anything. Now, you want to get this out of my face, or...
Well, considering I spent most of last night at gunpoint, I think the shoe's on the other foot for right now until I figure out if you can be trusted. Why don't you come in and have a seat?
That's the kicker. I can't be trusted, remember? But she'll go in.
And Requiem's just going to set the shotgun beside his computer and pull up one of those doctor's rolling stools and sit down. So what's got you poking around here?
Digging? Not gonna lie, I can't really trust you too well.
Can you trust anybody in Night City?
There's a few I could. The way this is, I have history with Loup. I have a little history with Slideye. Orvin was an open book. You, I don't get.
I was willing to give you guys the benefit, considering Orvin told me to help you.
I'm suspicious by nature. In terms of the territory.
What is it do you want to know?
Did a little bit of digging on you. Found out a little bit of information about your clinic here. Run off donations. I'm also concerned with what you were telling Nathan. About where you get your parts. Wanted to make sure that was legit. See how you operate.
If you wanted that, all you had to do was come down here and spend a day.
Not as much fun, though. What I intended was to find out a little bit more via your system here. And then come in to talk. However, my weakness apparently seems to be fire doors.
You won't find much there. Most of what goes through this clinic isn't even on the books. Those are just official donations from people that want a tax write-off.
But donations are donations regardless. Just curious as to where they come from. Corpo-backed, something else.
Let me show you around. And I'll take Trix on a tour showing basically what I have stocked and explain to her where I get things. Now, most of this comes from people who can't use it anymore.
That's what you were telling us yesterday. Suppose I'll just come out with it. Are you some sort of scav? You work for him?
You're going to see Requiem visibly shift in tone and stand up. and walk over and look you down. If you ever compare me to them again, we're done.
Can I insight that at all?
Yeah, that would be a human perception check.
I need to find what page that is on. Social. There it is.
And Requiem, I'm going to call for an opposed persuasion.
I'd like to pour 3 points into that too.
Okay.
Guessing that's social persuasion.
Yep. Damn.
Ooh. He's very convincing.
Oh.
Very, very convincing.
Alright. That was my main concern. Tell us how you got your parts.
You know the difference between me and those bottom feeders?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me anyway.
I will never take a breathing person just for their parts to make money. What I take parts from, they can't use them anymore. Nobody misses them. Nobody claims them. They would just rot or get recycled.
So what do you do with them? Obviously, you don't just toss them back outside. I'm not talking about the parts. You say you take them from people who don't need them. I assume that means you mean the dead.
Yes.
So what do you do with the bodies?
What I can. If you really want to know, I'll show you.
Wanting to know is the exact reason I'm here.
Alright. Then we're going to have to take a ride. I'll close up shop for a couple of hours.
We'll go on my bike. Faster.
Alright. And I will take her to my house.
But before you leave the clinic even, the front door jingles with a new customer.
Still have to wait. And you'll see him close his eyes and take a deep breath, and then the smile will come back. And he'll walk out into the main room.
And at the front, you see one of your usual visitors. Takagi.
Well, there's a sight for sore eyes. How you doing, Taka?
Good. Well, it could be better, actually.
What's wrong?
Well, Dad's here to collect. And in walks an executive. Someone who looks very corpo. You can see it dripping from the very suit that he wears for Next Tech. The company, the pharmaceutical company subsidiary of Biotechnica. One Marcus Calhoun.
Is it that time of the month already?
Indeed. He says to you.
Well, please, come in. I was just about to take lunch, but, that can wait. More important things have to be done.
Yes, of course. And he seems to notice you, Trix, as he comes back into the back.
She's watching him carefully.
I don't believe I know you.
Don't believe in any of you either.
This is a new associate of mine.
Hmm.
We are about to go get lunch. But that can wait.
Do I know this man from anywhere? Like, of what I've heard of him?
Roll me a... Let's see what kind of information that would be. If you have it... I don't think you would have any knowledge in medical tech, so I'm going to say streetwise for rumors.
$14.
He hasn't given you his name yet, but the suit that he wears is from a company that that you would know is a pharmaceuticals manufacturer. And based on how well he's dressed, just the fact that his suit seems to be made of very fine materials, his tie might even be silk, that he's pretty high up in Next Tech Dynamics.
Okay.
So, pretty high executive, you would think. And you swear you heard the younger kids say Dad.
Pardon my rudeness, but I didn't expect to see anyone of your caliber down here. In the shithole.
Everyone has to slum it sometimes.
Sticks
Keeps
out
life
a bit.
Interesting. And Requiem's going to go into the back and open up a cabinet and pull out a case. Quantity, not so much, but quality's there. And he'll put it there and pop the locks.
And Marcus will go in and delicately just inspect the contents of the case. And you see there are Trix. Maybe from your angle you don't get a good look, but there's definitely some implants in there. These will work nicely. Thank you. He closes the case and takes it in his hand. And you see his eyes glow blue, and Requiem, you would see that he is sending you payment for these items in the amount of 50,000 euro dollars.
Always a pleasure.
Always. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have other things that I must get to tending to. You can get back to your lunch. He then turns on heel those patent leather loafers he seems to wear, with Takagi also following suit.
I'll give Takagi a little, like, salute, but goodbye.
And he'll do the same very subtly as they both leave. You see that, like from the front door, that Marcus gets in the back seat and Takagi takes to the front driver's seat. And they both leave.
So, a not quite legit clinic of a river dock. Dealing with Corpo. That's an interesting little note.
I told you wouldn't find shit on that computer.
So what, you take off the implants and the better ones get sold to him?
I can hear the judgment in your voice. Let me explain. Just the left arm in that case. It's designer, custom tuning, double the muscle fiber.
Brand new.
Do you know how many generic models I can get just by selling that can help someone else?
Oh, I don't doubt. I just want to know why. Why is he dealing with you all the way down here? Must be an important enough deal if he's coming himself. Not that I know who he is, but quality of the suit says a lot.
I don't concern myself with the why. This arrangement lets me get what I need done. I could have slapped those implants into some lucky son of a bitch and changed his life. Or with this money, I can help 10 people actually survive that can't afford it.
Almost leads me to wonder if you're helping them with any research. Using some of your patients that way.
Some people don't have another option.
I'll keep this little bit to myself for now. Requiem. Just letting you know. Now, I believe you were going to show me where you were putting these bodies.
As we're walking out, he's going to say one last thing. Before you judge, if I didn't do this, how many people wouldn't get help?
How many people already don't get help in the city? That's just Night City in a nutshell.
Doesn't mean I have to like it, and doesn't mean that I won't change it if I can.
I wish you luck on that endeavor.
And Requiem will climb on the back of her bike.
Once she has the address from you, she'll take off.
It's not far. It's not a big place. I haven't exactly worked out with coffee exactly where it is, but I would take you to my apartment.
Okay. Lead the way in.
It's not terrible.
I'll open the door. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
It's not terribly far from your clinic. You maybe drive like 10 minutes, if that. You are on one of many floors in this apartment building. It's not a mega building per se, but it's definitely pretty big. More widespread, several floors. And so when you walk in, Trix, it's fairly modest. But one thing that does stand out when you walk in is that there is almost a miniature columbarium, much like the larger one in the near North Oak, where those who could afford to get cremated are then buried, as there are no cemeteries in Night City. The dead are not buried, simply cremated and stored elsewhere.
As I walk into the door, the only things you see besides shelves and shelves of different urns is you see a bed and then basically mock trees and like where the sugar glider plays and jumps around. And he probably jumps straight to my shoulder as I walk through the door.
And kind of catches himself in your bit of a puffed up mohawk almost.
It's good to see you, buddy. And Requiem's just going to go over and sit on his bed.
Trix is overlooking the shelves a bit. All these people.
And you notice none of them have names.
You don't have an incinerator. I didn't see one. Or last, not one that you've made known, so... You have a deal for this, too? Where's your corpo friend, huh? Help out.
There's a deal for everything. You can get anything in Night City if you have enough favors or money.
And you use it to remember those who would otherwise be forgotten. Noble cause.
Duck's caring. Still think that I'm a ripper, or not a ripper, still think I'm a scav.
Jury's still out. But you've managed to convince me of a few things. I at least know you're not a danger to Slideye or Loup. That's what my concern was.
Everybody's a danger. It's just, am I one that you have to worry about?
Exactly that. We damn near lost Loup once. We'd rather not lose her to something else.
Yeah. Well, the clinic's flush for the rest of the month. But I still need to make some money, so I was going to see if the rest of you were up for looking for a job, probably within the next week or two.
Always. Gotta keep moving. Just gotta see what's out there. Your friend, what's his name? For curiosity's sake.
Which one?
Fancy suit.
That I can't say right now.
I'd like to know at least who we're dealing with. Even if it is indirectly.
Well, maybe in time when I can actually trust you too.
Fair enough. Unless I can find out in other ways.
Yeah.
Depending on if it's worth my
Just
time.
avoid fire doors if you want to try next time. And hell,
Noted.
you could always ask sometimes too.
I'm pretty sure you know why I didn't ask. Staring down the barrel of a shotgun. Trying to intimidate me a little bit. And I called you a scav.
I thought you were a tiger claw. That's why you look down the business end of her.
Wouldn't have anything to do with the gangs.
Well, they're the only people that usually try to break into my place. Looking for drugs or cheap implants that they can go and get socketed in.
Ah, bad luck is bad luck, though. Who knows,
Don't-
next time I might just sneak in the front door on you. You'd never know I was there.
What else do you want to know? What were you really looking for?
There's one more thing you can confirm to me.
Sure.
Cassius.
Oh, him. Yeah, he's the one that owns the business.
Wondering if that was you, or it was someone separate.
Now, from what I know about the guy, everybody just thinks he's crazy.
I want to incite that.
Human perception versus persuasion. Because there's not a deception roll.
Yep. There's no true insight roll either.
Ooh.
Come on!
Raven, what is with you and the Derek dice today? And he crits again.
Damn it, CJ. Stop doing that to me.
He's stupidly convincing. Damn.
Even if there was a deception roll, technically I'm not lying.
Yeah?
You're omitting a truth.
True.
Omitting a truth is the same as lying. But if Requiem is to be believed, this Cassius is a crazy motherfucker who owns this business and has him sitting in as the Ripper.
Interesting little tidbit. Sure to let Nathan know. After all, he tends to get protective over his girls. Why he includes all three of us, I'll never know, but... Want to ride back to your clinic?
Sure.
Beats walking.
Should we call the girls?
Yeah, sure. And she will give Slideye a call.
To which, Slideye, you and Lou are going through the different things that you have picked up along with the immunoblockers that you were looking for as part of this the cargo that was in the box truck. Now, Slideye, you would know that there's enough immunoblockers here for you to be able to have a consistent dose for a couple of months. And Lou, based on your estimations, when it comes to weapons, there's a variety of different things, so you can pick and choose if you would like to pick up like something new out of this pile. But you would estimate that there's something close to 4,500 euro dollars worth of weaponry here that you could sell on the black market. Between pistols, ammo, a shoulder arm, a variety of different things altogether. But that is what you have in your possession now.
So, get any ideas for the new gear?
I don't know if I'm really interested in branching out right now.
What? Suddenly got self-conscious?
Yeah, maybe it's something like that.
Something like that.
Just happy to go with what works. Yeah.
You sound distracted. I grab enough immunoblockers for the month. Back and put the rest back in the shipping crates. Probably gonna want to end up making sure Doc ends up getting most of these. Should end up keeping his clientele happy and get you a bit of a discount next time he's gonna end up putting one of our legs back on.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
No, it's a terrible plan. Come on.
I mean, can we plan for the inevitable?
I thought you were too young, dumb, and full of cum to end up having an existential crisis at the ripe old age of 14.
I don't know, Slideye. I want this. I just don't know if it wants me.
That old age question. You want this. You know, every time I've done a shot to this, it usually ends up meaning somebody got a promotion or a deal went through. So what is this to you?
She kicks the side of a shipping crate, dumps the very heavy handgun back into it. Says, ever since I was a kid, with Sam on the block, playing cops and runners, he would complain. I always made him play cops, but
Yeah, you look like the type who always wanted to end up being the rebel and go for it. That checks. You what?
I just wanted to mean something.
Wanted to mean something. Thought what? You were going to be the next Morgan Black Hand?
No, nothing that dramatic. I just wanted to help people.
That's where you got to make a decision. You want to be someone or you want to help people. Yes, these are mutually exclusive in Night City. Think about it. Every rebel who ended up growing up, listening to Samurai, Johnny Silverhand on the guitar, every punk who wanted to end up saying, yeah, down with the system. And the system kept churning without him. Turns out the only thing that all their rah-rah turned into was a few ticket sales and abandoned warehouses to sling overpriced drinks that were probably brewed in somebody's basement in order to make a few creds that they end up eventually spending to, well, name your service. Medical expenses, food docs, goes right back into corpo hands, and the corpo hands keep churning. So, when you want to help people, inevitably you end up in this strange portion of position where if you're trying to end up making their life better, you can't do it broad stroke, right? You do it broad stroke, you're doing it mostly to just end up, well, going about it with half-assed measure. You try and do it big, bold, loud, get in everybody's face. What does that turn into, right? Turns into people dropping a nuke on Arasaka Tower and feeling like they made a difference. Meanwhile, the best that Johnny is remembered for is a drink at the afterlife and the smoking crater that's getting rebuilt. Arasaka's still rolling. The Emperor himself still off in Japan, pulling his strings. And everybody kept going along. Body counts in the tens of thousands was just a Tuesday. Rah. Because that's what it takes to be matter. For people to remember you. To be worth something. Right? But then, you got to help people. Helping people's a little different, isn't it? Because helping people means knowing people. I've always hated the term the people. Always did. Call it a little bit of the corpo view in me, but it's a very interesting nebulous term to end up just being able to broad brush to make yourself feel a little bit better, as though you are doing it for the masses. All these faceless, nameless individuals who you don't know, don't care, don't particularly know their personal struggles. You just take a broad brush to it all and say, look at the difference I'm making. Doesn't stop the guy who is currently thinking about swallowing his 45. Because maybe he's trying to figure out how to get his daughter through the little bit of schooling he could afford. Or maybe the scav who's just trying to end up figuring out how to pick pieces around just in hopes to end up selling for a couple of eddies, because, well, fact of the matter is 70-hour work week don't pay what it used to. You got the individual who's slinging dope on the side like we are right now. And what are we doing? Robbing Peter to pay Paul? So we turn into the middleman? I mean, look at these. She slides over one of the containers filled with immunosuppressants. What do you see when you see those? Because I can tell you this. That is a whole bunch of people not getting their fix. That is a whole bunch of people who's going to end up having to rip their own leg off because it's either that or the blood goes septic. That's somebody who was just hoping to get to the factory, now having to operate with one hand because he can't get that shot to end up going. Unless he finds ours on the market, in which case, in order to pay for it, what he's going to have to probably do is the one thing he didn't want to do. Grab a piece of iron, put on a mask, pull it on somebody that looks like they got a little bit more than them, and, well, that's going to be enough. Or maybe you're just going to run into somebody who's going to do the same thing to us, and maybe to get a better cut of the deal and leave us with 2 holes in our head.
It all comes from somewhere, doesn't it? I tried to help Jessica.
How'd that turn out?
It made things worse, I think. I think she appreciated it, though. In a weird way.
You think?
Her face all fucking bruised up. I mean, in that brief moment before the job, what little bit I remember from back then, yeah, we seemed closer.
I hear a butt coming.
No but. Just I have to learn to help where I can and put my ego aside.
Look at that.
Then,
little pup growing up.
Yeah, I guess. And then all the other stuff, the ego, the work. I mean, that comes extra. Maybe there's a way to do that too that comes out in the wash, but yeah, this. She slides the hypo back over. This sure as shit ain't it.
Job's a job. We didn't take it, somebody else would. How you gonna square that away?
No, I'm glad we hit who we hit.
You sure about that?
I will be until the consequences come around. And even then, I hope I can square it.
Well, I'm gonna take hold of that heavy pistol that Loup was looking at. Spinning around, holding it by the barrel, offering it handle first back to her. That's why we get ready. Lou, it's a different game. You became a fixer because you wanted to help people, right? That was the idea. You know, the right people, and might be able to set up a meeting, get people to know each other, always knowing what's going on the inside. But you're used to thinking on who's in the floor on your mega block. You're not thinking about the city. You're not thinking about the world, not as it is. When you hear us talk about Night City, we talk about it like it's an animal. It doesn't have a conscience. It eats. That's all it does. That's what it's designed to do. City is, in some cases, more like a house fire. You know it's going to consume everything. And you got two choices. Do you try and stem it, save what you can, probably burn in the process, or do you get out while the getting's good? Just watch it all burn down while you sit there in your bra and panties on the sidewalk watching it all go up. That's Night City. A perpetual burning house. You can't put it out. As much as you wish you could. It makes a different type of person. Everybody wants to know that they mattered. Morgan Blackhand, Johnny Silverhand, Adam Smasher, legends, and dozens upon dozens more who, the second you end up saying it, everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a story. And what we notice is what we're really looking for is hoping that people will tell stories of us. That those stories will amaze and wow and resonate long after you're gone. Generations if you're really good. Because you live with the knowledge you're gonna catch a bullet or a blade. You're gonna bleed out in some alley or go out in a hail of gunfire. But can you do the impossible and become immortal? That's rebellion in Night City. That's the real rebellion. To live forever here. In the head of every single scav out there, every single junkie, every single wino, every single corpo, renegade, rebel. They know your name, and like that, in the minds of everybody, your name makes you a god. You have to admire what this city will do to you. That it'll even make you want to roll the dice just to achieve that shot at immortality.
There starts to be a buzzing on your hollows. It's Trix.
What'd she say? It's been a while since then, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a call, not a message.
Ah, great. Why answer?
Hey, our new little friend wants to meet up for a little bit. You two free?
Sounds like it. Oh, I've just finished counting up. I grabbed my toll.
Yeah, where you want us?
Why not come by and check out his clinic? Unless you guys have someplace better.
Sounds good.
Alright, I'll forward you the address again. Meet you two there. And she will hang up and forward the address to the two of them.
Which isn't terribly far, actually, from your apartment, Slideye. It's within the same district, so it's not too terribly far to get there.
God damn. Wow.
Japantown.
Yeah.
You get over there much?
Yeah. Used to have a thing in the family for imports. Anyway. Don't mind me. I'm just cynical.
You're a survivor.
Hardly. Ain't much left surviving. Take away the chroma, what do you have?
I know how you feel. Not feeling like much of myself is left anymore either. Speaking of which,
Why don't you do me a favor?
Yeah, you gotta do me one too. What's that?
I forward you some deets. Monk, I want you to end up meeting. He's good for talking. Plus side, he's cheap.
Thanks, I could use someone to talk to.
Yeah, well. Careful. He ends up realizing that you still got more blood than oil. He might even try and end up converting you. How you feel about joining the monks?
They're celibate, right?
Don't know. Never tried to get my freak on with a monk before.
I think they got a thing about substances, right? Not into them.
No. Very much the body is a temple. Mine's a crumbling... Well, no sense me telling you about my sessions.
I think my body is a pinball machine.
Maybe it's because you don't value it.
Lots of flashing lights. But yeah, I'll see the monk, but you got to do me a favor too. I think I gave you a hypo of black lace a little ways back.
I'll toss it back to you.
Oh God, thank God. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. Thank you so much.
You sure about that?
Look, I know I'm risking a lot taking this shit, but when we're out there on this next job, I'm gonna need the jump. I'm gonna need the edge.
Yeah. That's how it starts.
C'est la vie.
No. No, it isn't. I'm gonna start walking off, heading out to Japantown.
Okay. Lou did offer a ride in her car.
No, I didn't.
No?
I don't have a car. We're both walking.
No, you're walking. Okay. So it'll be a little while before you guys get there, but
we did not discuss a car, so I don't have one yet.
Oh yeah, because yours got impounded.
You just put me here, so I don't have one.
Well.
My favorite reason,
fine.
plain coffee.
Yes, always.
Exactly.
Have to take the metro next time when you're getting back to Haywood. But since it's not terribly far away, it's roughly about a half-hour walk. And it's only about a 10-minute drive from where Trix and Requiem had been, so you all can more or less meet up at the clinic all together and discuss.
As they're walking in, I probably hear the bell go off, and I come out the back. Ladies, welcome to my humble abode.
What's up, Doc?
Not much. It's been an interesting day. Please, come in the back. And I'll take you back to where I have my operating table and my chair.
Yep, because you have the sort of standard chair in the kind of one side room, and then there's even more like triage beds where it's more like emergency and other such things, where there's the typical Ripper chair in the front, but then there's these beds with monitors that are more. They look more like hospital beds, if you had to put a finger on it. Hospital beds and monitors that maybe there's even some like emergency gear in here too, that from what you can tell, maybe you've spotted out of the back of ambulances before.
And while the building, you can tell it's an old kind of rundown building, everything is as clean as it can be.
Almost pristine.
So, how are you all doing? Or this afternoon, I should say.
Just finished doing a count of the previous job, hoping to end up moving everything out. Could be a fun little payday. Had to end up going through the inventory.
Well, as long as you can move it, things go quick in Night City.
Sometimes a little too quick.
That's what happens when there's not enough to go around.
Yeah.
And coffee. Could I have made a couple of doses up of the cocktail that Orvin was providing?
During this time,
Slideye.
you have not.
Like when I came home.
You have not had a chance to be able to sit down and cook something, because that takes hours.
Oh, it takes hours? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's not exactly something you just whip up within
right.
like 5 seconds. This ain't a protein shake.
No, I didn't
No.
know if I could have done it last night after I got home.
Slideye, no.
But I will work on that.
Yeah.
So anything interesting out of that?
Yeah. Couple of things. But that's between us and the client. Still gotta figure Rec out at this point. I look over some of the materials. It's not that I know how to use any of this med equipment, but a lot of it's very familiar to me. Fun stuff. Kind of reminds me.
You've sat in a number of Ripper chairs and hospital beds yourself over the last 10 or so years.
Yeah. Kind of I say this out loud, kind of reminds me of Fingers setup.
Loose shutters.
Him.
Ah, yes, him, Requiem, because he's competition.
He gives us a bad name.
Why not? You get a discount when he gets off. Seems like a fair trade to me.
You don't think that.
You didn't have to end up existing with a bunch of... Who cares what I think?
She has a heart.
No. No, replaced that a long time ago. Want to say he gives you a bad name? Either way, you're slicing up bodies.
I've already checked him out, Slideye.
Yeah, sorry, she's in a mood today.
That's nothing new. I already did my digging. Jury's still out as for trust, but seems legit enough.
He's clean?
Who is in Night City?
Nobody in Night City's clean.
Oh, clean enough. At least for our purposes.
Our kind of clean.
Alright.
So, what'd you call us over here for?
Oh, it's almost the end of the month. Bills are always due. I didn't know if you were looking for work. I was planning to try to find something. If I can't do a job, I gotta hit the clinics and grind.
Lose your woman.
A little young for me, but...
Marry me.
Maybe in 10 years, darling.
What are you looking for?
Something that pays. I don't have the luxury of being picky. Preferably something not too dirty.
Not too dirty, he says. Yeah.
Well, Coffee, is that a streetwise role?
Yeah, let's find out what you can find out.
Oakley dokley. Let's go ahead and add 2 luck to that.
Okay.
So 20.
Okay. So, based on what you know of the different things that are going on between all of you, the Valentinos are definitely up in arms. They're looking for whoever hit them, even though it wasn't necessarily a big shipment that they lost to you all. They're definitely on the lookout for anyone who's trying to do the similar. So they're looking for bodyguards. On other shipments that are coming in. Obviously, there's the individual hustles that you all can do on your own, but as a group, you know that there's...
Would that be a group job? Yeah.
A group job would be something like the 4 of you go on a bodyguard sort of hustle.
So that would be like a group job?
Yeah. But the clients that you have so far and the fixers that you have at the moment that you know, the 1, maybe 2 fixers that you know, don't specifically have jobs for you at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
They might
so
in a week or 2.
It's leveraging my own contacts. Yeah.
Obviously, Reagan never really wants to work with you. He'll have to if he's in a pinch, but very rarely is he ever in that deep of a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
Your other fixer contact, Octavio. He's the one kind of putting together the whole bodyguards thing for the Valentinos, since he works with them very closely.
That would make sense because I feel like they would hire through him instead of us directly.
Yeah, especially if they kind of want to keep it, a little bit more anonymous than hiring directly.
Coffee.
There's always talking to Die Hard. Seeing if he has something lined up at Arasaka for you. Yes, Requiem.
What I would have done jobs for people at some point. Would I have know a fixer that I could call?
That you know personally? Last time we talked about that you are aware of Wakako Okada in this district, but you've never met her personally, and she's one of the top fixers in this.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect her.
As far as maybe more street level fixers, that would be kind of who you would do hustles through, I think, because I don't have
Okay.
one named for you right now.
That's fine. It was just a question.
Yep.
Yeah, I was wondering about Die Hard, whether he was closed to us or not.
So far as you know, you can still call him up.
He seems like the type, this is just floating this, that he would contact us when he needed something, not we would contact him if we were wondering if he had any work. I feel like that would be kind of, I don't know, gauche.
Presumptuous.
Presumptuous, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, do you know him well enough to figure if he figured that be gauche? Or does he seem like the type that would be... That,
You know, we did have kind of a
he's the
decent
type,
conversation with him
maybe
that
he's,
wants that.
Yeah. Maybe he's...
That wants you to be a little presumptuous.
Maybe.
Yeah. Fuck it, call him.
Okay.
No email, no text message, just straight phone call. Fuck it, phone call. I smash a smash and call fucking Die Hard. I drink my smash first.
Mm-hmm.
I puncture the sides with my fangs and shotgun it.
Shotgun the whole thing, yep.
Goddamn right I do.
He answers. Well. If it isn't the pretty little thing that we met the last time, a couple of weeks ago. Loup, was it?
That's right, Mr. Die Hard. How are you this afternoon, sir?
I'm just dandy.
Well, tickled to hear that. Yeah, so, well, me and the girls have been sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
Checking our itinerary, and wouldn't you know it, we've got some openings here in the next week or so. And we were wondering, does our good friend Die Hard, he's got a whole name, I know his whole name. I know his whole name, I was going to say his whole fucking name. Wait for it. Does our good friend Die Hard Costanza need anything from us?
Do I need anything from little old you? Let's see. You know, I might. I just might. And you being a fixer, I could potentially use your services to look into a little thing for me. Maybe we should meet up, little fixer.
Oh, yeah. Meet you at the tower?
That's rather presumptuous. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something like, El Capitan Caliente.
You got it.
I'll see you all there.
Righto. And she terminates the call. Well, that went well. That went well. He wants something.
Doesn't everyone?
It's a good point. Where's El Capitan Caliente? Sounds good. That sounds nice.
You would know that there's a location near the Arasaka Tower in downtown.
Yeah, we gotta meet him there. I assume he gave me a time.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's this evening.
Okay, everybody, let's drop off at home. Dress to impress as usual. And let's do what we can to get this job. Unless you all want to bodyguard for the Tinos.
Oh, money's money, but he proves to pay well, so see what he was offering.
We can always turn it down. We can't turn it down. No.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
Alright, then who's riding with who?
Which I think is also a great place for us to take a quick break. So we'll be right back, everybody, with what Die Hard Costanza may have for our lovely edge runners here. So be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Night City Stargazers. Episode 13. Where we had left off, our band of edge runners had estimated how much they could potentially make off of the weapons that they had procured from the Valentinos. The lovely Requiem had a surprise visit from a known associate, and Trix was caught attempting to break in shortly before that happened, questioning the new Ripper Doc about his methods, motives, and other sundry things before the group got together, and Lou had the audacity to call Die Hard to see if there was a job that could be done. And as it would turn out, he thought of something, and told them to meet him at the nearest El Capitan Caliente, a chain restaurant here in Night City that prides itself in having the best coffee around, as well as, well, what could be considered a take on Mexican food. And so, you arrive outside this location, near the city center, having all piled into your vehicles as appropriate. And you now stand outside this chain restaurant. What do you do?
Well, Lou, your lead on this.
I guess we just go in, right? Yeah. We'll go in.
Okay. And among the other patrons that you do see here at this little restaurant, you do see the somewhat massive man wielding a sheathed broad sword on his back. His hair pulled up into a sort of messy top knot with his classic trench coat, Arasaka logos, and definitely looks decked out in cyberware. You imagine some of that cyberware is just sheer strength based on the size of his sword. And what you see is that he is currently finishing half of a burrito. And it definitely looks like he is enjoying the meal.
Is he seated at a table or the bar?
He's seated at a bar. There's kind of a bar along the wall that the individual patrons can just sit at, where it's not really a table per se, not really booths either.
Uh-huh. I gesture to the gang to hang back for a second. And I walk up to his, visible side where he can see me approaching. Clear my throat noisily.
He kind of covers his mouth as he's finishing up a bite of his food, and says with a mouthful, "Ah, there you are." And he swallows that bite.
Yeah, I put my arm on a chair and lean in. Looks good. What'd you get?
Easy beef and cheese. Classic.
Nice. Good stuff.
He looks.
Can I sit down?
He nods at you and sees that the rest are just kind of hovering.
Or do you want to move to a table?
That's up to you, Fixer.
Anything you say to me, you could say to them.
He gestures over to the table that's kind of like right next to the bar and gets up from his stool and gets his looks like a massive soda cup and brings it over with him.
Lou gestures to everybody else as well.
I'll just slide into a seat wherever they say to go.
Yeah, Lou sits closest to Die Hard.
Trix is going to sit directly across from.
Again, I wanted to thank you all for the excellent job that you did for me previously. It was nice to see that that my piece of machinery had been returned to me in one piece and relatively unused.
And once again, our condolences for your loss.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. I met the three of you. Who are you? He looks over at Requiem.
I'm Requiem.
Die Hard. Pleasure to meet you.
And I'll reach out a hand.
And he'll reach out a hand and take yours, and it is a strong grip.
Yeah. And like as I go, I'm probably just going to kind of turn his hand and look. Nice.
You know your implants then. Bet you can tell me what model these are. He kind of just wiggles his finger in front of you.
And I'll probably just start naming off like different bits and pieces that I see. Definitely good tech.
I like you. You know your stuff. You don't see sharp eyes that know much in the way of technology when it comes to implants these days. It's hard to find a good ripper.
You find one you trust. You stick with them.
I'm glad I trust mine. So, I have a conundrum. A conundrum that I'm wondering if you can solve.
Lay it on us.
It's a bit weird, as you might have guessed. Because, really the biggest thing that I have is a question. Why in the hell would Orvin Bernadette be hiding amongst you lot?
Your guess good as ours. For whatever reason he did.
You mean to say you never saw the scream sheets with his name on it?
We did. Still doesn't mean we know why he decided to hang out with us.
Fair enough, fair enough. An end runner's an end runner. I see you already got a replacement, so I think you're in better hands in that case. Orvin was the
Remains to be seen.
entire reason that my son bit the dust in the first place. But that's my personal beef. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Unless it does.
Didn't mean before that first job, so. We needed a med tech. He came in. He vanished. Now we have this one.
You know, he came to see me the other night.
Did he then?
Yeah. However, I will say that as soon as he pulled a gun on me, my bodyguards were the ones who made sure that everything was taken care of, and, well, what do you know, my platinum coverage of trauma team kicked in right in that moment, sensing I was in danger, and, well, you can guess what happened after that.
Never said he was smart.
Dumb as rocks.
Can I insight check
Friendly
this
as all
man?
hell.
Absolutely, you can, Requiem.
Human perception, right?
Yep.
18.
He's got no reason to lie to you. He's
So this
ours.
Orvin's dead then?
What Trauma T did with him after that, I have no idea. I wish I knew. Because we still have biz to settle. After all. However,
Kinda shocked you didn't do it yourself anyway.
I would have if my wonderful team didn't step in for me. I can handle my own, but, you know, my boss's bosses make sure that I am well taken care of in spite of everything. But that's not the reason I called you here. I didn't call you here to tell you what happened to your friend. That's just a side piece, just in case. No, what I really want is I want intel. And I think you might be the types who'd either get it for me or might die in the process. Either way, I win.
I'm sensing a refrain here. What intelligence are you after?
Biotechnica. My bosses are in the manufacturing business. In the case of pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, supplies. I need some intel on one of them manufacturer execs.
You got a name?
Calhoun.
So, what's the information?
Well, that's what I called you for. I need that information. I need you to nail down to me how much he has in safety. If you can tell me that, then your job is done.
What kind of time frame we got on this job?
I'm thinking I'll give you... Find out what you can in 2 days. And I'll pay you accordingly.
Pretty blunt time frame. You know,
Man moves a lot. I imagine his routine is probably the easiest thing you'll find. If you can hack it. Rumor has it he has his own AVs. Tricky things to hack that. I ain't no net runner. I kill things for a living.
yeah, I glanced to Trix. Like a head shake or head nod. Do we go after this or do we not go after this?
Needs a gentle touch, but sure it's possible. Trix is gonna give her a nod back.
Puts her hand out. Says, we'll bring you the goods.
You bring me a shot with the data, I'll send you your eddies.
You got it.
And he clasps your hand, Lou. And again, it is a very strong grip. Now, I don't know about you. You all hungry? Because I can go for another burrito.
I think we'll leave you to your dinner, sir.
Well, I offered. Can't blame a man for his hospitality.
And thank you, of course, for your hospitality. But we have business across town.
I'll let you get to it then.
Farewell.
He gives you a nod and goes back up to the counter to go and order some more food. And it's not like he's fat. He's just big.
Huge. It's a big fucking guy.
But that leaves
All
you
right,
all to do what you want.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Trix will follow Loup out, wondering what the hell they just got themselves into.
I think we probably rode here in Requiem's car or Trix's bike. So I'm gonna pile into Requiem's car with him.
As we're driving away. Who all rode with me? Was everybody rode with me, or did you bring your bike?
Oh, Trix is always on her bike.
I'll end up riding on back with Trix.
Okay.
And y'all can meet up somewhere if you want to discuss. If you want to discuss with all four.
Can we meet at Slideye's?
Okay.
That works.
Slideye as it is.
Yeah, so on the ride back, good job keeping it cool back there.
Requiem's just not going to talk for the whole ride back. And you can see him gripping the wheel very tightly.
Don't even have to roll for it.
But not too long after, you make your way back to Slideye's apartment. Above all of the nightlife, as it is starting to kick off here on Jig Jig Street.
So, intel searching, hacking. In 2 days to do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. The other thing is, I guess we know what happened to Orvin.
Yeah, he's as good as dead.
I don't know. Maybe he got really lucky.
Rama took him away. It doesn't mean that he's dead automatically. It depends on what his bodyguards did to him before.
Probably not something to dwell on. Orvin got himself in that mess.
You're right. So, who knows who this Calhoun fellow is?
Well, they said he was in the medical field. I can go check with a couple of my contacts and see what I can get on him.
Shouldn't be too hard to dig anything out. At least not basic information.
Yeah. We should probably get on this first thing in the morning. Start watching his patterns in person.
Yeah. Figure out the best way to hack in. Figure out what ice he may have.
I'll see what I can do tonight. I'll talk to you guys in the morning. And
all right.
I'm going to get up and I'm going to just kind of like have my smile on and just wave. Do you guys need anything else before I leave?
Human perception.
Human perception, Lulu.
I'd like to roll 2 if I can.
Go for it. Requiem, I'm going to call for a single persuasion.
Jesus Christ.
Something's up. Both of you know it. He's getting out of Dodge way too quickly in this. He hasn't really even discussed anything with y'all.
I'm going to give him a little bit and follow out after him, motioning for Lou and Slideye to stay behind. She's going to follow him. See where he goes.
Okay.
I'm going back to my clinic.
In the meantime, Slideye, Lou, you are left to your own.
Yeah, I guess I need to quick message to Trix about what's in the equipment. See if she wants to take anything from that, or else I'm gonna go sell it tonight.
Okay. Slideye? Anything?
Trix as
Well,
well.
we have a job to end up getting ready for, so I am calling up Sam. Give me a quick tune-up before a mission, just in case.
Okay. So let's follow Trix. Trix, you intend to follow Requiem, who makes his way back to the clinic.
I'm going to give it a few minutes before heading in after him.
When I get in, I'm going to go, and I'm going to call Taka.
And he answers. Hey, long time no see.
Yeah, it seems like it's been ages.
What's up, friend?
Need to set a meet with you and your dad.
We just saw you earlier today. What's up?
Not something I'm going to discuss on an open line.
Oh. Okay.
It's important.
Okay. I'll let him know. And I'll text you with details.
Thanks.
And he just hangs up the line.
And I'm just going to probably be sorting inventory or something, keeping myself busy till waiting for a text back. Going through my normal chores.
Trix watches you for a moment before getting your attention. So, you want to tell me what's going on?
Do a quick net search on that name.
Would I be able to from here? Coffee?
You can search the net using any terminal, and if he's allowing you to use a terminal.
Are you allowing her?
Yeah.
Okay. She'll do a quick search.
Figure news articles and stuff would probably come up pretty easily. Plastering his face around.
He's a well-respected executive for Next Tech as a more or less an administrator in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals. Highly praised. Actually has his company specifically has done some really great clinical trials on the effectiveness of certain drugs on the medical market now.
Well, guess that means I don't have to go looking. Yeah, I can see where this is a problem at now. How are you going to handle it?
It's definitely the guy you saw earlier.
The man wants intel and details, and we can give him that. But I'm not going to let him get taken out.
Win-win scenario. We get the intel, hand it back to Die Hard, your friend gets to stay safe. Stay informed.
Who's to say that he doesn't change his normal routine just before we start surveilling him?
No, that'd be too obvious. With our time frame, it would be way too obvious. Little changes after the fact would probably be faster. Less liable to be spotted.
Well, what are you doing tonight?
Well, I was going to go shopping for some programs. Maybe to help out and switch out a couple ones I've already got. Why? What are you thinking?
I'm going to set up a meet tonight.
And you want me to be there?
I don't know net running. You're going to be poking around and, well, the kind of information that we're going to give tonight can be worth something to him too, so we might be able to get paid for it. And if you know where to look, where they can leave the information that this guy wants.
Still make it look legit. Could prep me for whatever programming they've got. Hell, who knows, he might lower his defenses for it. Alright. Might give us a good edge to work with.
Well, we're killing time till the meet's called anyways. Let's go shopping. And he'll just offer an arm. And he'll get that smile back on his face.
She's not taking the arm.
Oh, you wound me. And here I am trying to be a perfect gentleman. And he'll just start laughing and walking toward the door.
Yeah, Jay would probably kick your ass for that one. Maybe. But she'll follow him out the door.
And Requiem, you get your text with details about it, that the meet will be in 2 hours at your clinic.
We have to be here in 2 hours. Is that enough time for you to get your programs?
Yeah, but I wouldn't suggest here. Die Hard has a habit of knowing everything about the people he's bringing in to work for him. He knew about Orvin. He knows about Slideye. He likely knows my history and Lou's history as well at this point. And there's no doubt in my mind he's looking you up currently and has better resources than I do to do this shit. So here, not the best option.
I'll message back somewhere different and secluded.
He messages you back. Taka messages you back and suggests somewhere secluded near the bay.
All right. Well, let's go.
All right.
All right. And so you said you're looking for some programs.
Yep, I'm trying to bring up the page now because the PDF is being weird. Some of these programs are actually pretty goddamn good.
Now, who do you know as a netrunner who could sell you these? I mean, there's Blunder, but yeah.
Yeah, there's Blunder. There's Lou's friend that helped her get Sword and Shield.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. That one's off the list.
Too pricey.
1,000 eddies.
Yeah, you're kind of running low on cash.
No. Well, okay, I've got enough for rent and maybe next month's rent, so kind of good there. Just not wanting to push that.
But
okay, let me double check how much I actually have. Where are you? Yeah, probably end up getting Pillar.
Okay.
Which is an anti-program black ice.
Okay, nice. Nice always to have those.
Yes. And then... that's still pricey, but I'm more willing to pay 500 than 1,000.
Feelings, buddy. I have cat. Cat is being cat.
I know there was one I was looking at earlier too. And I think for more defense, I'm gonna do flak.
Okay. If you have the eddies, you can add those to your program inventory.
Yep. That is what I'm going to do.
Now keep in mind that you do have to spend some time loading programs onto your CyberDeck.
Yep. It's about an hour per.
Yep. And you have 2 hours to load those on your CyberDeck and replace something that you already have installed. So are you replacing something?
I can replace one thing. Because I only have 6 out of 7 slots used.
Okay.
So I am probably going to take out Sonic Shock.
Okay. Take out Sonic Shock and replace it with...
probably Killer.
Killer. Okay.
Yep. So Flak and Killer are in.
Okay. So those are loaded into your CyberDeck as part of your defensive software.
Killer's an attacker, so...
yeah. It attacks programs that are attacking you.
Yep.
So just keep in mind that anytime that you jack into a system, you do have to res those as part of an action. as
Yep.
a net action before you can proceed to do something else. Something with it. So.
Yeah.
But after the couple of hours that it takes for you to load those programs, either spending the money to get components, code, or building them yourself, the money is spent, the time is spent, you have those loaded into your cyberdeck now, and it's about time for the meeting. And Trix and Requiem, when you do arrive, you do see that both Calhoun and Taka are there waiting with their bodyguard, who you don't really know the name of, Requiem, at this point. He doesn't speak. But he is a big, imposing person. And that is really all you need to know.
Taka, Mr. Calhoun, or Mr. Calhoun. Hi, Jeff. And I'll look back.
You
I
said
have
it was urgent.
I have very valuable information that I came across. Something that you're going to want to know. It won't be a surprise, but I'll let you decide what it's worth. Someone in Arasaka is looking into you. We've been given a task to clock your movements and get all the information we can. I'm guessing you've become a target.
As is common in the corporate ladder, but why are you telling me this? If it is in your best interest to have revealed this information to your contact without my knowledge.
I think our friend here is trying to work a deal. What is best for both our team and you, considering who it is who's given us this job.
You said
Did
Arasaka.
Die Hard mean anything to you?
Die Hard. What an absurd name.
Yeah.
I am familiar with him. Fourth Corp with War. Veteran. Arasaka heavy.
He definitely has the chrome for it. Everything that I saw is top notch. At least last 2 generations. He definitely keeps up with things.
I see that your item
No.
chrome is not lost upon you.
Mm-hmm. We know what we deal in. Now you ask why I would bring this to you. If something were to happen to you, a lot of people would be worse for it. I like to at least keep things the way they are. We both know that one of the reasons I'm able to run my clinic at the prices that I do is because of us and our deal.
Your altruism for those who are less fortunate is none of my concern. My concern is primarily with the kinds of cyberware that you are able to get from my people, my employees. That is my concern, and I am willing to pay a handsome price to keep you as the Ripper Dog to install them.
As I'm grateful for. Like I said, it is in my best interest to keep you alive and well, to continue doing business.
Are you proposing a counteroffer?
I'm proposing that you make sure that you don't die. As I said, you can decide how valuable this information is. I brought my friend here because he wants us poking around.
And you have poked around.
Well, we haven't started that just yet.
See that you don't.
We have 2 days after all. Well, now this could be beneficial. We just told you a big stock of guys coming after you. What reason I don't know and don't care to know.
It is not the first time, and that will not be the last. No, his efforts will be in vain.
I think it would be beneficial to just give him what he wants.
Give him what he wants. You can start changing things around after the fact. Slowly, to not get attention. Work it in your favor. In the end, what does he get with us doing this? He gets outdated information. We get paid. You get to keep doing whatever it is you're doing.
If there were a place where information was stored that you wouldn't mind us poking around in, who's to know what's stored there? How up-to-date that information is?
Hell, I could even take a little bit of damage for you. Proof that I tried to go through some of your heavier systems.
They say in war, information is king.
That it is.
This is giving you a leg up.
Again, not the first. Certainly not the last. So, you want information that is a little out of date, and, well, perhaps I could satisfy your curiosity. However, he will know if it is fabricated.
Which is why it'd be a little better to go in. And then you start changing things after the fact.
I'm sure there's plenty of shelved projects that aren't viable for a profit that could be sacrificed. Anything can be useful in the right circumstances.
All of which is the aim to have me live. He says with a bit of a grin. In response, however, I am in the market for information regarding him as well. Must know my enemies.
Hacking into stock, I've tried that once. It wasn't pretty. Got burned a few times.
Even information upon what you have gathered in meeting him will suffice. I don't expect a novice netrunner to be able to break into Arasaka.
It was worth a try, though. More to get a hold of their security systems for a different job. But they even have their cameras heavily guarded.
As they should.
But you give me easy access to get this information over the next couple days. I'll tell you everything I know about him.
Allow me some time to collect the data, and it will be in a shard at the drop point.
She'll offer her hand to him. Deal.
And he'll shake your hand.
We have 2 days to get this done in. So.
Whatever you think this is worth. After we give you what you need, send it through the usual channels and I'll make sure they get it.
He gives a nod.
Always a pleasure. And I'll look over. Make sure you protect him, Jeff.
You just get a grunt.
For the record, I don't necessarily feel comfortable doing this behind my crew's back. But it's to keep things running smoothly.
You will find that there are plenty of opportunities in a city. If you do not feel comfortable going behind your crew's back, then do not.
You consider it second nature to me. For Requiem's sake, keep low.
Business will continue as usual. No suspicions. Just pray I do not get attacked in my AV.
From the sounds of it, that's a likely possibility.
I will
Not by
continue
us,
to
obviously.
try.
Make sure that platinum package is up to date. You wouldn't want to have to come across my desk, would you?
Mr. Belle? I don't think that you would be able to get to me in time before I have completely ruined them all.
And that's what I like about you. Endless optimism. And he'll just get that big grin.
Good night, he says, and then he goes back to his car, which is definitely a very, very nice looking Porsche. Sits in the back seat. Taka takes the front. Jeff sits in
I'll
the
give
back with
Taka a
him.
nod.
And they drive away.
So, Belle, huh?
Yeah. I didn't lie. Everybody does think I'm crazy. And I'll just get the grin even wider.
You are crazy. It's not a thought, it's a belief.
Well, I think with that being said, now is a perfect time for us to call it a night. As I think also Derek needed to call it a night anyway, so. But yeah, thank you guys for playing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Fun.
On.
I think what we're gonna do, since Derek isn't really here to put in some of his input or anything like that, what I'm gonna do is just give you guys a flat 30 improvement points across the board for each one. For showing up, for doing your part, for doing your role playing, all of that.
Okay.
Just a flat 30 for everybody. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Rose Wolf. Glad y'all could come by. I forgot to I forgot to unpause my VOD, so I'll have to download it from YouTube. Oh well, or from Twitch. Oh well. Oh
Hey,
well.
you know what? At least that didn't come out this time.
And there's that. There's that. It's all a single VOD, so even downloading it from Twitch is going to give me a single VOD. So.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
There we go. You know. But
I had fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all had fun. Yeah, introduced a couple of NPCs, brought back Die Hard because y'all wanted a job. So here's a job.
I'm glad I don't have to roll frenzy checks in this game.
Nope. Nope. Not like Vampire.
Then again, not like I would attack his chromed out ass right like that.
Look, Die Hard is 100% a chromed out ass.
Yeah. Requiem is aware, considering he can tally up in his head how much all that chrome costs.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, I got some new programs to play with that I don't necessarily get to play with right away, but...
Yeah.
Hell, he could probably run his clinic 6 months to a year on what he's wearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Exactly. But yeah, thanks you guys so much for playing, and to the audience for watching, and for Enderpoint Station for rating. Thanks you guys so much. Appreciate it very much. So, like I said, was saying before, is VODs do go up on YouTube. So if you want to catch up on all of the past episodes for Night City Stargazers, or any of the other games that I have run, because I've done Vampire and I'm also doing D&D, you can check those out on YouTube. I post every VOD. It is usually the previous week's episode that is uploaded every week, as that gives me time to edit and get things all looking pretty and nice. But we do everything live here on Twitch, and most of it is improv and from the seat of my pants. So you get to see everything that we do here on Twitch. So if you aren't already, go ahead and hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and engage with my videos. I want them to have comments and likes and all that stuff. So please do the things.
I have a new mission. Comment unhinged shit on every one of Coffee's videos.
Look, I'm not stopping my cast members from commenting on their own videos, okay? Look, clip them too, so...
Yes, please.
Yes, because we love engagement, so...
Velocity at it again with the memes, because I can't roll tonight.
Oh, yes. You should all also check out the Discord and because the Discord is where our lovely, fanboy, I guess, Velocity Arrow is posting all of the memes in favorite moments, which is also a great place to post clips too. So if you ever put clips, we're gonna post them there too. But yeah, check out the Discord so that you guys can all be in there. And the next thing that we're doing is on Saturday with more Rebirth D&D Tale, which is our D&D game that you guys should come and check out. And then, of course, on Wednesdays, we are doing Cyberpunk Red with the Edge Runner supplement as part of our rule set. So, and there's a little bit of house ruling going on too. So, but yeah, you guys always should do all the watching and listening and things, because it makes the algorithm happy.
I don't trust a game without house rules.
But that being said, let's indulge in a little bit more Cyberpunk going on at the Hero Zone, because Maddie is doing his first playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077. So let's go and check him out while he's doing that. And until next week and Saturday, when we see you all in the audience again, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.